I just finished my live. Um, I just finished my live for my workshop, which you're not told about grant writing part 2. And so this is going to be part of this is going to be whoops. No, it's not. It's not what you're told about grant writing. That's what I just did. Okay. Y'all bear with me. And I apologize for coming in here late. Okay. So we're gonna be talking about federal freeze and future part 5. But I want to share with y'all my notes that I got from GCN. It was their town hall meeting. And if you don't know, or if you're not familiar with GCN, they are the Georgia Center for Nonprofits. And I did ask them permission to share their resource to just talk about it, because that's what they did. They were talking about the federal freeze as well. But they went in depth. They went deeper than I could go. But I do have the permission to share it. And I don't know if they know if I'm in Texas, but that doesn't matter. Information is information, no matter what state it's in. They had slides, and over like 340 people come into this. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't plan on making this like 2 parts, but I also don't want it to be too long, so I might. But for those of you getting to know me, I am Brittnei C. I'm a nonprofit strategist. I've been doing this for 5 years, and for grant writing, nonprofit, and business development. I am a SCORE Houston workshop presenter and the CEO of Write the Vision Plainly LLC. So let's get into this. And if you're going to watch it on the replay, I will see you on the replay. So I was trying to, because they gave me a link to their video. They did a live recording, and this is a part of what I attended. I don't know if it's saved, but I am going to, after this live is over, add their link so you can go on their YouTube and watch their town hall meeting, so you can be informed of this as well. So they were saying that what just happened was from January 20th. This is a timeline they have. So on January 28th, and like I said, in the wee hours of the morning, in the wee hours of the evening on the 27th, and I mean 11 o'clock p.m., wee hours of the night, on January 27th, that's when the executive order, they were trying to hurry up and push it through, and then mandated that it was going to be in effect on the 28th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was the OMB issues memos and pausing the federal funding. Then the first TRO, or the temporary restraining order, was issued on the OMB memo. I have that memo. I saw that memo. Then on the 29th, and this was around maybe 11 a.m. Eastern, because I got it like maybe around 12 or 1 in the afternoon, that OMB memo rescinded. Then the second temporary restraining order was effective in expanding the scope for the restraining order for the OMB and the EO, which is the executive order. The DOJ motion to dismiss the TRO, the first one, was denied on February the 4th. So the second one remains in progress for now. And many upcoming issues for these reports, for the executive order reports and the new executive orders legislative, is unknown at this time. So what does all that mean? And this is from GCN. Whenever you watch their video, you're gonna see what I just saw. You're gonna see what I just read. This is what they were telling us, and they were saying insurance of key executive orders affecting nonprofits, including diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, government grants and contract, civic engagement, immigration, and certain nonprofit subsectors. Everybody was affected by this. It wasn't just the marginalized group. It was that group and everybody else, because this was a domino effect. And it was said also in this town hall meeting that the reason why these OMBs and restraining orders went so fast, it was because sorry about that, y'all. Oh, what was I saying? I was saying that, yes, with this, the reason why these executive orders were paused, the temporary restraining orders were in effect almost like as soon as, it was because a group of nonprofit leaders were already a group of nonprofit leaders that were leading their organization. They came together and they were the one that put up the temporary restraining order, because they said, hey, you can't do this, Mr. President. This is going to affect everybody. It's not just one person or a group of people. It's everyone. As I mentioned in my workshop that I just did, which you're not told about, grant writing part 2, or the second part rather, I said that out of 1.8 million nonprofit organizations that are in the US currently, 9.2%, or over 165,000 of those nonprofit organizations, are only the ones that are set up correctly getting the funding. The 9.2% are. Some of those nonprofits are churches, 501c3 nonprofit churches, and some of them are your job, like your 9 to 5. You could be working for a nonprofit, or your job could have your salary from a salary-based grant, and that's how you're getting a paycheck. With that going, you don't have a job, and it would be like a immediate halt. You don't have a job. You wasn't worrying about this. It would have literally been, you had a job yesterday and today you don't. So this is why they were saying, like, hey, Mr. President, excuse me, you can't do this, because it's affecting everyone. This is not just one person that we're talking about. This is a large group of people. It's everyone. And it did go down to what they say, food stamps, TANF, SNAP benefits. If they did say if they were going to leave alone Medicaid, they were going to leave alone Social Security and unemployment, those were not going to be touched, but everything else would have been. So if you would get like low cost insurance, because part of that insurance would have been funded by the government, because it's state insurance for your health. And that's for those low income families who, you want to protect your family, but you don't have a lot of money to do that. So that's what that government program is for, to help you. That would have stopped probably. And a lot of other programs, free lunch would have stopped for the kids. Um, Free lunch, and there was something else that they do for kids that don't cost them anything, and it's like a state program. I don't remember what that other one was, but it's possible field trips would have stopped. It's possible that schools would have shut down. Colleges, HBCUs and universities would be affected. Like, when I say everyone is affected, everyone. I'm just not saying, oh, it's just little teeny tiny, you don't have to worry about it. You're safe. You're safe. No, no. Scripture says when they call for peace and safety, you run. Yeah, yeah. So let me see. I also say, like, as we're getting informed, because we are still getting new information. And I also mentioned this on my workshop, because of the new information that's coming in, like every hour, every day, all day long. It's not that the people you're listening to are wrong. It's just that as the information is coming in, they're updating you, and I'm doing the same thing. There was, because of this dramatic move, there was tension between 501c3s and charitable activities because of this executive order. So some charitable organizations that maybe drill on land that are for the economically disadvantaged, those would have also been affected. That would have been a problem. Let me see. So far, I don't really remember which ones exactly they are. And I may do a part 6 when I'm just talking about the executive orders, or maybe a part 7. Y'all let me know in the comments if you want to see that. But I'm strongly thinking about doing it because they said it's possible that there's about 5 um, DEI executive orders that are going to stop DEI, which is a diversity, inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So that's women, that's teens, that's kids, that's men, that's male, female, that's LGBTQ, that's anyone that may be, I don't want to say marginalized, but any group. It's just kind of like they don't want the groups anymore. Like, if you were a woman owned something, they don't want that anymore. They just, if you're a business, say you're a business. Don't say woman owned business, kind of thing. And also, I believe and I know that government contracting is about to get very interesting, because they have VOSB, or the veteran owned business, the WASB, women's small owned business, the MBE, the minority business enterprise. Like, that's what they have for government contracting. So that's why I said it's about to get interesting, because without that, what do we do? I would say we would just have to change our approach. We have to change the way we approach and the way we talk about this when it comes to government contracting. And I say that because if you want to get the funding and benefit for that government contract funding, you would just have to change your narratives to suit what they're saying and in respect to the executive order. um Diversity programs in education with nonprofit and anti-discrimination laws are all under fire because of this. And I do want to specify, this is suggestions, it's not legal advice. And this is my opinion. And I'm just informing you of said opinion. And let me see. The like, low income, anti-discrimination is things like that that you wouldn't be able to put in your proposal whenever you're writing it. The private, let me see. You don't want to, you don't, hold on a second, y'all. Okay, guys, I am so sorry about that. Oh yeah, this that's what I was getting at with the private versus the public. They don't want it to be seen as obstructive work. This is going to affect, as far as the government contracting side, it will affect churches, religious affiliation, and religious organizations, as it's called. Uh, what else would I call it? Church, religious organization, nonprofit. It affects you as well. So they're saying for compliance, and like I said, this is my notes, and just do a double check on these things that you have, if you have them. um do a I-9 or 1-9. No, it's supposed to be I-9. I-9 check compliance. That's what you're going to have for your nonprofit, your church. You need to be compliant. You need to have this information for the past 5 years as a suggestion. Have it for the past 3 years. And if you don't have it, you can always get it and keep it for more than 3 years. Because in case you get audited, I don't want to say that they're going to come for you, but in the event that you are audited, you want to be ready. You want to, when they say, we're auditing your church, we're auditing, us, the government, we're auditing your nonprofit, we're auditing your business, we're auditing your church. You want to be able to say, here you go, versus, I'm getting on, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? Let's not panic when we get audited. When you are ready, you don't have to get ready. So stay ready, y'all. Let me see. Um, a question was asked, what happens if you're already receiving government funding? If you're already receiving government funding, um, because of this change, it's because of this change already, it's suggested that if you are under a government contract and you've been under this government contract, this is not something that happened like a couple days ago. It's you've been under it for years. So basically, you're good because the executive orders, the temporary restraining order, that didn't exist before that contract. So you're fine. Keep going through with it, even if it says women owned small business. If it's something that you just entered, or maybe you're a year in, you may have to change what it is you're doing in order to keep that contract, in order to renew. So for anyone who's renewing their contract with the government, just be mindful and aware of these changes that come from this executive order. So again, we are just being prepared. We are not running scared. We're just saying, hey, this is what I have. This is and what do you need? Okay, I can get that. If you don't have it, find it. And so I'm just skipping around my notes here because I just want to give y'all just what you need. I'm also going to share the same resources that they gave us. They were saying that leverage your 501c3 990s, get an accountant, make sure you're compliant, make sure you got your retention policies, your conflict of interest. You should be doing your corporate filings, your business license, your raffle license. Did you know that you need a raffle license if you're planning on doing raffles in your nonprofit or your church? I didn't know that either before this. Financial policies, internal controls, marketing and other stuff, and making sure that a trustworthy person in the event of handling money is handling it correctly. And they joked where they said, now is not the time to get robbed. Report theft if it does happen. And some might need the form 501H election. You need to be aware of lobbying regulations. And there is a self-defense regulation. When funding sources are threatened, then able to get contact direct advocacy, there is a self-defense regulation that lets you defend yourself from this. Make sure you have your bylaws. Give me a second here, guys. And for accessing your records through the government, it is a quick turnaround. You can ask for certain documents, but please be aware that if you don't fine tooth and go through everything, you will be penalized and they will take away or stop your organization. So get it. This will, just a note, I put this will impact the federal workforce. This will also delay payouts for those who are already getting government contracts. So they were saying, their words, not mine, the future of funding is in jeopardy, but you also need to think of other sources that you can apply for because you're planning for this. Because everything is about to change when it comes to that. Also, the executive orders at any time could change. They could change from, you know what, our bad, we're going to keep the DEI. Or, yeah, we're going to continue to shut that down. So don't even worry about looking for it to be stopped. You never know how this is going to swing. So just be ready for the change that is happening. There was a lot of questions, a lot of good questions, but that's not something I'm going to go over here. Um, Someone asked a question about lawyers for nonprofit law. There are not many, but there are not many lawyers that represent for nonprofit. I was told that the pay wasn't that good, but there are resources for contingent lawyers that they gave, and I'm going to share that with you as well. Not many nonprofits will have the budget for attorneys because attorneys can get really expensive. There are national groups for lawyers that govern this, you know. So they're saying, hey, make sure your legalities are in order. And this is what was asked, and I kind of mentioned this earlier. If you have an existing contract or a negotiated one, the with the existing contract, there's not much you can do. And I'm talking about government contracting. You sign a contract already to do a job, and then this executive order comes up and tells you, oh, we can't have this anymore. We can't have the DEI. You already signed a contract for DEI. So you need to honor that contract. And there's not much you can do about that because this executive order kind of came out of left field, but you've been with this person and y'all have been contracting for years, or maybe a couple days before this executive order that no one knew about was going to go into effect. Right. But if it's if you can negotiate your contract, you should, but do the negotiation before you sign it. Make sure that this kind of topics are discussed before you sign anything. Keep in mind that this is going on with the government. If you get state for the federal state side, you may not be affected by this, but the federal, the US federal government is affected, in other words. Let me see. Stay in contact with everyone. Communicate with the people that you're in contact with. Communicate with everyone. Do not leave anyone out of the loop on what it is that you plan on doing when it comes to this, because you have to keep the trust alive and also inform them as you were informed, as I mentioned earlier. The worst thing you can do is lie. The worst thing you can do is say you know when you don't. The worst thing you can do is predict. So, as new information comes out, just tell the people that you're working with, be it you are contracting or subcontracting with the government, you are your own business, so you have your clients. Just let them know that you don't know what's going to happen next and you're not about to predict the future, but hey, I'm informing you on what's going on here, because that's what I'm currently doing right now in my own business. I'm letting the people know, hey, did you know about this freeze? I'm just telling you, because not many people, although this is all over the news, not everyone has heard it, or not everyone who's heard it understands it. Keep that in mind. Delays in communication will lead to a loss of trust. Work together. Also get a media policy. For all future funding, make sure you know your contracts and know your rights. And that is the end of my notes. And I took 32, 33 pages of notes because I knew this is what I was going to share. And I appreciate GCN. They are so amazing. I truly appreciate them for sharing this information with me. And now I'm going to share with y'all the reason why you're truly here in the first place or watching the replay. I'm going to share those resources that I was telling you about. And for those of y'all who don't know, every Texan or Southerner can fake their accent from where they're at. Anyway, so this is the GCN.org. So this is a Georgia Center for Nonprofits. Sorry, I was talking too fast. But this is a good source. And again, these links will be in the description when they're not already in the description, but I will put them there for y'all to look at this for yourself. They're just informing you about the change in leadership, what's going on. You click this button for the updates, and these executive orders, they do tell you about it, like what's going on in it. Advocacy for strategy and planning and governance, risk management, crisis communication. It goes on and on. So there's plenty of information in this one link alone to get you informed so you can know what's going on for yourself. I say take what I'm saying and then do your own research. I have thoroughly researched a lot of pretty much everything before I hop on camera and speak. I research everything so I know what to tell y'all. Now, just because I did my own research on it and I'm telling you about it doesn't mean that you should not do your own research. I encourage you to do your research because there's always something that I have maybe didn't know about or I overlooked that you would have found because you did your own research. So just like I'm telling you guys about the Georgia Center for Nonprofits, do your research. Use this as a source of information for it. Lawyers for Good Government. So again, we don't really know of someone that's raising their hand to say that they're a nonprofit lawyer, right? So this is another source, lawyersforgoodgovernment.org. This is a nonprofit that helps with attorneys and like if you want to receive updates and volunteer opportunities, you subscribe to them. So yeah, just check this out. They advocate, they are lawyers, they help people, they advocate for people. So if you feel like you might need law or attorney help, contact them. The National Council of Nonprofits, I'm accepting all. These are this is another good resource because I believe I'm on their newsletter, but I would say whenever you are doing this, they have the most up-to-date information as well. They let you know what's going on in the nonprofit world. So the National Council of Nonprofits is another great one. This is Pro Bono Partnership of Atlanta for 20 years. Another good one because this one is more on immigration, federal funding, advocacy. And you see where I'm going here? These are also organizations, but they are the source that help you with what you need to get. This is what the very list I was reading off that I was telling you guys about. And this video is almost an hour and a half and great source of information. And some of my notes, the majority of my notes came from this. This is an event that they have for they're sharing it's called Tax Policy Watch for the tariffs. It's gonna be on March 20th from 1 to 2 Central Time. So again, if you're interested in this, you can go ahead and register. Lastly, Vinable LLP. This might be a law firm or legal, something to do with legal. But yet another good source of information for what it is that you may need. So, guys, I say to just stay informed, keep being informed, never stop watching the news. Do your best to keep yourself updated. I will also do my very best to keep you all updated as I'm updated. But guys, that was it. Thank you so much for your time. And I apologize again for being late. I said 5 o'clock and I was strolling in here past 5 o'clock, but we got through it together. And we're going to continue to get through this together. Also, I besides like my workshops, my master classes and stuff, I'm thinking about like putting a checklist together for you guys. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments how you feel about the checklist that I may do just to keep you guys informed about um this federal freeze. And I'll make it a free one. I have some checklists, but I charge for them. Like, you know, when you go on my store, they're there, but they are not free. And I want to see if I can put the link uh to my store. Yeah. So to my for my store, it's my Writing Vision store, and I was talking about the coaching for Essential Grant Components Masterclass. This class I have, I teach you from beginning to end how to write grants, what you do, what you need to look for, and how you go about doing it. And I may be adding very soon government contracts because I'm currently in Apex Accelerator. So, as I have already shared GCN information, I'll continue to share it. I made this the least about me as possible, but this is the only thing of mine that I'm putting in here, and that's it. But you guys, thank you guys so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, I'll come back because what I want to do is these executive orders for the DEI. I want to go over those with you because I need you to know what's really about to change with this. And I don't want it to be surface level. I want to do a deeper dive on it. So if that sounds good to you, also slap that in the chat too. Let me know what you guys want. Let me know what you need. And thanks again, GCN, for allowing me to share this information with my audience. And I will continue to help spreading the word about this funding freeze, grant writing, and all that comes with it. But remember to please like, share, subscribe. I probably should have did that earlier. Follow for more. I am all over the place. I am on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and uh that other one, Lemonade. I want Lemonade. I just got it back because I was part of the group that uninstalled mine, but I did the download and I got them back. So I am on those platforms. My email is I think I have it on here. Writingvisions at outlook.com if you want to contact me. Um, if you want to contact me, yeah, do that. I am open for discussion. I wouldn't mind talking about it. And also, last thing I want to say, I have been featured on Now Media TV, and I don't know when the episodes are being released, but, but, what I'm going to do is, tell you guys exactly when they release the episode, and I may be releasing it soon on my Instagram and I'm sorry, not Instagram, my YouTube. I may be doing my live with that too, just so y'all can know. And it's again talking about this freeze that went on. So, guys, if I'm being completely honest, I probably have about 8 to 10 videos talking about this, and 3 of them were with Now Media TV. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm excited to be a part of Score Houston. I'm excited to do the Apex Accelerator, and I'm excited to keep you guys informed. So I don't want this video to be too long because I feel like it's long and I'm rambling. But yeah, y'all keep being informed. Oh, I just take that off. Yeah. Y'all keep being informed. Y'all stay vigilant, and I will see you guys in the next video. Follow me for more. Follow for more. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.